Hello. So, let's see. Do we have working mic today? Yep, got working mic today. Let's see if I can get everything in place here to not be too out of whack. Get a little bit of camera in the face, the usual camera in the face bit. Gotta get my magnifiers. Here's the thing, how come every time I think I grab my magnifiers, my brain goes, that's old man speak. it's not why I wear them. I have pretty good eyes. You just see so much more detail with them. So my eyes aren't naturally magnificators. Magnificators. Is that a word? Hey, look at that. How weird my tape kind of curled up. Let's see how this works. I'm going to take this off now because I think I've got... might actually have created a cool effect, but... Right. Gotta find the edge of the tape though. Tape, can't find the edge. Where bees ya? It's right there somewhere. I just can't get a hold of it. Tape is like curled up, and I don't know where. I think this is where the edge is, but I can't get it to. Can't get it to actually come off. It's like it feels perfectly smooth over here, but I know it's not. A question how? There we go. All right. I think we got it. I ordered some additional water effects. Texture and stuff that I can like make it look foamy or ripply or something like that. So we'll see how those work when I get them. No, it's not. Oh, maybe that is all water. No, it's not all water. I was gonna say, did I have the water go that high? I don't think I did. It's supposed to be a lot lower than that. But my tape broke off early. Oh wait, maybe it is. Weird. It's actually kind of cool. We put a border on my, like a ripply, like almost like an edge, like the edge of a pool. Huh. Huh. Interesting. Kind of cool. There is a hair there. I might have to trim that down just a little bit. It's not that I mind it. It's actually kind of cool looking, but it's kind of I don't know how it rose. I don't know how it rose. I think what happened, maybe I put it on tall and it. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. Don't know what I'll do. But it's kind of cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with that weird wavy side. If I'm going to cut it down or leave it. Because I don't know if I like it or don't. But there you go. There's my crab with his water effects. Hey TDL, how you doing? It's Friday. What have I told you? Friday is my stay up late day. Because it's Saturday is my sleep in late day. And if I want to sleep in late, that means going to bed late. That's just the way my body works. I don't sleep late just because. I sleep late because I went to bed late. It's the only way that works. I'm an 8-hour sleeper. Or, well, 8 hours when I sleep long, 7 hours when I sleep normal. And that's been the way for 20 years. my body's always been like, 7 hours is all you need. I'm like, okay. So if I go to bed at 10, I want to get up at 5. If I go to bed at 12, I get up at 7 or 8. So that's how I do it. So I stay up late on Friday so I can sleep late. Stay in bed. Man, have I been on for 15 minutes already? That Nightbot usually only shows up after 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure that did not take me 15 minutes. That's weird. All right. Let's get going. Let's put some paint on something. You know what? I'm going to put some paint on my bird. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Everybody paints them yellow or orange. I've seen this guy painted on a few different guys. Well, I remember a viewer telling me I had a new setup. I don't remember him yelling at me about it. I don't, I don't remember being yelled at, but I do remember somebody asking about it. The new setup is, and I don't remember changing back because I can't change back. I'm not going back to Streamlabs. And okay, so I did do a video where I only used the camera, and that was because I wasn't doing a workout. I think I was doing the aerobic. I was just boxing and doing ab roller stuff, and I wasn't recording it anywhere, so I wasn't actually using the JFit app or a website or anything like that. So I didn't need to share my screen, so I was just doing the camera. When I switched back, it was because I was once again using my tracking app. So it had nothing to do with somebody telling me that I used, calling out that I was using a different setup. I simply was using I was doing a different workout that required different tools. Okay, well, maybe I just have a different perception of people. I didn't perceive yelling. I didn't see all caps. So all caps is yelling. Or maybe I just saw him typing and I just saw it as normal. I don't know. I guess I don't naturally go to somebody's angry, unless I really get that vibe, and I didn't get that from anybody. Somebody did ask me why I changed and was saying that, hey, you changed your setup. And I'm like, yeah, I changed it because I had no choice because Streamlabs went wonky. Streamlabs went all greedy on me. So I stopped, and I didn't want to pay them for a broken app. And so yeah, I couldn't use the other setup. And when with this new app, Camerify, it doesn't let you do the camera with a small screen of this a small picture screen like I did with Streamlabs. You either share the screen and have a small camera, or you have the camera and no screen at all. So that was my only options. So I had to use it, and it's not a bad app. It's just it doesn't have the same functionality as Streamlabs did, or it's not set up the same. And then it has a weird thing about overlays. It's like I can do other things on the overlay. I don't know why I would, because it disables the screen. So why would I put an overlay on if all it's going to do is disable the screen? Like my heart rate monitor, I can put that on there and you can kind of see it if it's transparent enough. I can touch the screen, sort of, but it's wonky, so I don't do it very often. So yeah, I kind of gave up on that. So it's just using a different app requires me to do what the app can do. It's not a bad app. It seems to perform fairly well. It's doing the trick, and it doesn't charge me excessively. But so anyway, this bird, I've seen people doing Working on this guy, but most of them are like yellow, orange. Kind of thinking of going with a brown color. Or I could make him look blue. How about yellow and green? You know, kind of a yellowish head with a green body. Can't see his body that much, but kind of along the lines of a budgie bird. I want a bird. I've been trying to talk my wife into allowing me allowing me to get a bird. She has this thing about she has a hatred for birds, I guess. I don't know why. I've over the last few years I've been wanting a bird, and I already have his name picked out. So I've been thinking either a cockatiel or a budgie, but I'm leaning towards cockatiel right now. So we'll see. We'll see if I can convince her to allow it. What have I been watching? I've been watching Carnival Row lately. That's my latest movie of or TV show of interest. It's the one with Orlando Bloom plays a detective. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on I think it's Amazon Prime. Then there's like the fae creatures are oppressed. And they're like living in the Carnival Row is like I don't know, the poor neighborhood where all the fae live in this town. So far, not too bad. So it's garnered my interest anyway. I really like this palette. It gives me lots of space, but one of these days I'm going to fill it up too much and I'm going to have to change pages or something. Now, again, do I have my brush over here? Let's give him a quick scrub before I do this. So this is guy. I think this guy is like Bones Black. It's supposed to be Reaper's higher end modeling. I think that's why it's a darker gray than their normal. But which means it's like their other ones. All of their minis are supposed to be kind of ready to paint, as in you don't have to prime them. But I've been told, and I've noticed it to be true, is that if you can clean them, give them a little quick scrub before you paint, you'll get some of the, what they call it, there's like this residue, I guess, that comes out of the injection mold that does stick to the figures, and it does kind of create a layer that makes it hard for the paint to stick. So you have to so you give them a quick scrub, you can get a lot of that junk off. It's like a releasing agent that helps it to come out of the mold, and it can be removed. It's supposed to be soap and water will help. Soap will help more so, but water works. You just gotta give it some effort, I guess. So hopefully I can see how this works. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna base him with just base him with the green. hopefully he's pretty clear. Like I said, when I paint, I use my webcam. I found that my DSLR was just proving to be a little too stuttery. I could not figure out why it was stuttering, so it was time to switch back to my webcam. So the DSLR generally has a better picture, but it was an older one, so I think it just had some issues with the streaming part. And I didn't have to be so close, which is really irritating. I have to kind of get really close to this lens here to let it see anything at decent resolution. So I apologize for that. It's just gonna have to stick with it until I can afford to buy another DSLR. Definitely some kind of a mutant. Bird with claws that have thumbs. he's definitely not your typical bird. Uh-oh, he's got that piece of plastic I always feel like is silly. That plastic that fills in gaps. I always cut that out when I see it. I drill it out. I get my little drill and cut it out. I just don't like. It's not the. It's just that the mold can't clear that plastic out. Something you don't generally see with 3D printed figures, but these are not 3D printed. These are injection molded. It's like right in there. There's like plastic between his arm and the loot, and it's just filling in a gap that shouldn't be there. Should be a gap. So I'll have to work on that in a minute. Oh, he's actually wearing pants. This guy's got pants. It's all out bird coverage there. So I'm probably just going to paint him all green, and then I'm going to go over his head with some yellow. Kind of get him kind of have a budgie look. I like to do basing with my my lamer brushes, just because not basing, base coating, because they can be kind of rough on the brushes because all you're doing is throwing paint down. But this is a smaller figure that doesn't have, there's just not that much area to cover, so painting up the areas that I want with this brush is not so bad. Not going to do too much mega damage, and I'm not covering even the whole fig. It's just his head and his arms, really, because he's got a jacket on and pants on, and so he's pretty well set up to just be painted in the areas I want to paint. He's got stick out eyes, which I haven't quite figured out how to paint. I don't know. How do you paint? I could paint him just black, which would be boring, or I can give him personality and actually give him a pupil and white eyes, which would be kind of odd for a bird, I suppose, but it's not your ordinary bird, like I said. This guy's got, he's got thumbs. Just definitely out of the ordinary for a bird. Isn't it about your bedtime? What is it, like 1 o'clock over there? Going on 1 o'clock? I have a new regular in the morning who shows up to my workouts. Heck, more often than you anymore. I know you have just because your shift is changed and stuff for work, but man, he's like I log on and he's like there. That it's Borgamax. It's like I go hello and he goes hello and I'm like oh hey man, he like responds fast. I have to be watching my chat the second I log on, which is not too hard. It's just that I'm not used to that. Usually it's like it takes 15, 20 minutes, half an hour before somebody shows up. And then I'm only working out for 30 to 40 minutes a day anymore, or maybe 45, but still, it's pretty. The workouts are shorter because my work has been making me have to. We've been having morning meetings. Well, they're not really meetings, they're mobbing sessions. That's when we all get together and program the same code. We just do it together. Oh, by the way, this is Cesar. I know you probably haven't been watching my streams when I do the Frosthaven, but Cesar is our new narrator. He he's the one who reads the stories, and he's actually with. He hangs out with Royce and Adrian, and whoever they're adventuring with. He's the guy who has the magic ability to teleport him back to town. That's all he knows. Plane shift. He can shift him. Well, it's not even plane shift. It's just teleport. Teleports him back to town. Other than that, he has no skills. He just sits out and tells stories, and he's a bard. So finally beat that stupid scenario too. Oh, I was getting tired of that scenario. I'm glad I did. Comes a point when you're just like, okay, enough is enough, man. It's like this thing has got to end. Yeah, they'll happen again, I imagine. It just depends on what I'm doing. Lately, I've just like doing more weight is really what it is. It comes down to um, doing the home workouts. I don't get to do as much weight. Hey, you're one of the ones that encouraged me to start streaming from the gym. Because I used to complain. I said, I don't know if I want to walk around the gym with this. You said, you really should try it. So I did. Now, I didn't think it'd become as regular as it has, as much like you probably didn't expect it to, but just because it is nice to be able to work with heavier weights. I got it to cut through. Now I can see if I can cut it out. Do this without wrecking Cesar. Don't want to cut his. Don't want to cut him up. Cut off his loot. I'm sure. I don't know. My workout stream is interesting. I don't mind doing it, but it's just really doing it because I just like to socialize with people. It's like having somebody at the gym to talk to while I'm working out, and it's not really, to be honest, it's really not all that productive. I've, only people rarely ask anything about the actual workout. We're just talking, which is fine. But as far as providing any kind of a service, not really doing that. When I started, I kind of thought, oh, people might want to watch this because it's a good, I could pass on my experience and knowledge. People aren't that interested. There's more knowledgeable people out there for one. That's one thing I've discovered. People who are actual trained, what do you call it, personal trainers and stuff. Who know their stuff better than I do. Since mine is all basically just learned. Learned from experience stuff, It's not really actual educated training stuff other than street education. So have you seen that Carnival Row? Seems like, I don't know what it is. I watch a lot of these fantasy shows. They always seem to be something that interests me. They at least they get me going, and then sometimes I'm like, I won't stick with it. But most of them at least get me to watch for a little while. Alright, so now there's a gap. A proper gap between his arm and his lute. It's better than it was. Yeah, I can kind of see that, but that's just it. I think that's what gets me. I don't mind those kind of shows that are, I like the old London style shows like the what do you call it? Morton Downey Jr.'s not is it Morton? Not Morton. Robert Downey Jr. and when he was playing Sherlock Holmes was kind of set in that same time frame, same setting, and I just like that kind of stuff. I like those what they call them period pieces, period movies set in but in this case it's obviously fantasy, but it's set in a that old style London, and I don't know, I like those. And then this one is, of course, then it's fantasy, so I like fantasy. So it's like I'm like, all right, let's see what that does, and yeah, I don't mind it. But yeah, I can get how that mix is kind of odd to somebody. So I fully understand that thought. Well, I got way too many paints out. I gotta start putting paints back in the case. Got more paints on the desk than I have paint in the paint in my cases. Oh, those are feathers. Didn't really think about that. I guess those could. That makes sense. A Luther movie. The Luther movie. You mean like Lex Luthor? Or what Luther? You mean like. Apparently not. I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, apparently I never watched it. Oh, well, I should look check it out. I do like those kind of shows. Like I said, I really liked Benedict Cumberbatch when he played um, Sherlock Holmes. That was a good one too. My wife and I were like huge fans of that. We were a little disappointed that it ended, but it did kind of, it did kind of wrap itself up. But still, it would have been nice to see it continue. We were enjoying it. Yeah, I should probably check it out. I've probably seen it. I mean, not watched it, but seen it and thought, oh, that might be interesting, and then just haven't watched it. Again, it kind of comes down to, you know, it kind of comes down to my TV watching time is not that massive, so that's probably part of it. But my wife, kind of, if my wife likes it, would watch it with me, then it's more likely that I'll watch it because I make a point to sit down and watch TV with her most nights, um, just so that we can spend some time together. But she's she doesn't always like some of them. She don't like because it's not that she doesn't like the characters in the show or that she don't like the style of the show, but she doesn't like the real heavy violence, and some of those shows can be pretty violent. When they get too gory or if there's plenty of what do you call it? Crimes against women kind of stuff. And I understand that. So she doesn't like it when it gets too far into that stuff, and so she won't watch them. Now I don't know if that's one of them. We haven't really looked it up. But we would. I mean, she'll. There is a line though. I haven't quite figured out where it is because she watches You with me. Actually, it's her show. She's the one who wanted to watch it, and I just kind of said, "All right, well, let's check it out." Because, like I said, I've got such a wide palette for shows that I'll watch. If she says try it out, I'm like, all right, let's try it out. I'm okay with that. And then there's shows that she's like, this is her show. She just watches it whenever she's. But even those, I'll watch. I'll sit down and watch it while she's watching it because she's in the room, and I'm like, what is this? I have either you can call it a wide palette for shows or a low bar for shows. It's like everything is tolerable to me. Like I watch. Heck, I like old style shows, new style shows, fantasy, sci-fi, um, action, rom-com. I will admit though, I'm not quite as big a fan of like musicals, but even those I will give a chance. If somebody tells me it's a really good musical, a really good show, I'm like, well, I'll have to check it out. I was not a fan of, I don't know, whatever that Moonlight one was, or Moon something, or I don't remember, but Moonstruck, I don't remember, but still, there's there's some that come on, people say are really good, and I'll watch them like, ugh, didn't do it for me too much. Let's just say a musical has to be pretty dang fantastic for me to actually agree with people and say, oh, that was pretty good. But I'll never like go, oh, that's one of my favorite movies. I don't think any musical will ever make it to that level. But it is, it's still, like I said, I have a wide enough palette that I'm willing to give them a shot. which is good because I like Disney cartoons and Disney shows, and almost all of their shows have some kind of music in them, right? They always have singing somebody's. A watch party? You know, I haven't, because you can't really stream it, right? Because that'll get you in trouble. So all you can do is have a bunch of people who are watching it together. And I don't know. I don't have enough. And then what? You talk about it, or you can do watch party like on Netflix, where everybody like says, "Okay, we're gonna watch this show together." Yeah, some shows that are set up for that. I know, like Netflix does that, and I think there's a couple other channels that might do that too. That you can say, "Let's watch this show together," and you do a watch party. Um, but you can do that with anything, right? Technically, you can have a watch party for anything. You just have to schedule it. Say, "All right, I'm watching this. Let's do that 5 o'clock tomorrow." I'm terrible at scheduling things, though. Huh. I always figured that that would be like some kind of copyright violation to stream shows that. I feel like you're. I feel like I'd be pushing my luck doing that. Now maybe Amazon has some special rule or special thing, but I don't, it's like even they always put on like sports. You certainly can't do it very easily because they're like, this is a copyright show. You or may not show it to anybody for any reason without the express written permission of the NFL. I was just thinking, this guy's a little awkward to hold, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not using my figure holder thing. That's why it's not that easy to hold on to a base like this. Huh. Well, that makes sense. But still, I mean, you would think Amazon still has to follow the rules of. I mean, they don't own the shows that they're showing. They own the right to stream them, but I would think that some of these people they're getting the shows from would be like, no, you can't allow everybody to watch. But maybe they must. Maybe that's in the agreement. I don't know. Must be if they say you can do it. I'm pretty sure there must be some kind of a. There must be something that they've worked out with these people. I'm pretty sure they must have something in the contract, streaming contract. Kind of a fancy loot. It's got like a flower thing going over the front of it. I mean, I know I usually stay up late on Fridays, but it's usually only until about midnight. I was watching Carnival Row before this. No, I don't. Every Amazon Prime. Oh, you mean like an Amazon Prime exclusive? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's owned by Amazon. No, I thought you meant like all the shows they're allowed to show, which isn't the same thing. They're not all Amazon Prime. Because like Netflix, they get the rights to shows and TV shows and stuff like that. But that's um, those ones aren't owned by Amazon. Those are the ones I'm thinking of. But you're right; they have their own Amazon TV shows and Amazon exclusives. Like Carnival Row is one of theirs, I think, and that Invincible, and yeah, they've got their own shows. So I suppose that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to think about it sometime. Alexa, what time is it?
Time is 11:37 p.m.
11:37 p.m. Not worry about copyright. How is that? How come that's the case? How come Discord? What does Discord get the approval or ability to, or do they just not care? Like, are they not like just they just don't monitor it? I don't know why they would be any more privileged. Can't believe any TV show would be okay with rampant restreaming of their stuff without permission or some kind of fun trading hands, but oh, well, yeah, I suppose that's true. If they can't make money off of Discord, but still, it's like you're not supposed to like rebroadcast like sports. Like NFL would come after you even if it's doing it for free. You're not supposed to if they knew you were doing it like in a public setting. But I guess then you'd be monetizing it, so maybe that's true. I mean, because like if you're doing it at a bar, then the bar's making money because you're showing the sport. But so maybe that's how they get in trouble. So I think I must have been dropping some kind of flakes in my. I don't know if these are spots from painting or if I've dropped something in my on my palette. Yeah. Go with a yellow ink here. This isn't actually We'll see how the yellow ink works on my on Cesar's head. Oops. A little bit on his beak. Well, it's more yellow. Yellow ink is one of those things you have to put on like layer after layer after layer in order for it to actually start to look like it's color. You know, I want to start doing a calisthenics workout. I may have to buy one. I keep wanting to ask my son to use his. He's got one that he wanted a long time ago. He never used, or he never really started doing it for one reason or another. But I was hoping he could. And it's one of those things you own indefinitely. So once you buy it, it's yours. But it's an online thing, and I need his login and stuff. Not looking much in the yellow zone, is it? Starting to look yellow, but it's gonna have to need a lot more layers of ink. I may have to actually put some actual yellow in here, not just my ink, because this is gonna take a million coats, a million coats of ink to get this to work. And that's gonna take longer than I want to take. This is Cesar. He's a bird bard. A bird, a bard bird. He's the he is my designated storyteller on Frosthaven. When I do Frosthaven now, he's going to be the guy reading the stories. He's got a he's got an accent. I don't know what it is exactly. Don't know if it's an Italian accent. It's Italian-ish, but it's probably not Italian. Maybe some kind of a Greekish accent. I don't know. It's just an accent I made up. It's a bad accent. Bad, inconsistent Italian-esque accent. But he's the one who reads the story, tells the story of what's going on with Royce and Adrian in their adventures. He's following them to get their story. And he's also capable of teleportation. So whenever they die or pass out, he brings them back to town so they don't, or not when they exhaust, let's put it that way. When they exhaust, he brings them back to town so they can recover and try again. He says it's not good storytelling to have the heroes die, so he gets them out of there before they're officially dead. And brings them back to town and goes, okay, heal and recover, and we'll try this again, and we'll see if we can get a better ending to our story. So he can't help them. But that's all he does, because he's not helpful in battle. he doesn't know any other skills. He learned how to keep his muses alive so that they're useful for his purposes, but that's it. More of a budgie, but he's a big budgie. Parakeets are even smaller. So yeah, I kind of like a parakeet except bigger. Budgies are big parakeets. And he's a big budgie. I guess you could call him an Aarakocra. Aarakocra in D&D is a kind of a bird person. So I guess in theory he could be one of those. It's really not that hard to paint. He doesn't have that many parts and bits. He does carry around a dagger, though, it looks like, so he's a little prepared for action, I suppose. enough to fetch the bodies and get them out of there anyway. Bodies of his muse. Not exactly sure what color to make his beak. Maybe I will make it kind of a faded yellow. As I put more and more yellow on his head. His head is going to be mostly yellow, but I just haven't got it to that point yet. a little bit more actual yellow on this guy. Got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, I think. I'm actually getting pretty tired. I get up too early in the morning. Was I up 5 o'clock this morning? So that's, what is that, 12, 19 hours? 19 hours out of 24. that's the one problem. Friday's my stay up late day. But I get up so early, I'm actually pretty tired by the time I go to bed. It's like, ugh. I need 2 days completely off. But I can't do Saturdays because I work out on Sunday morning. So I have to go to bed at a reasonable time on Sunday morning so that I can get up, try to work out before I start my day. But it's like I say, Sundays are usually my cardio. I'm usually at home working out on Sundays, but like I said, I don't usually do. It's usually my cardio day, and I don't want to bore people with my cardio workouts. Sometimes on the bike, on the treadmill. I actually canceled. I finally canceled my membership to that bike app. What was it? Um, Strive? Or no. What was that app? I don't know. But the one I said wasn't really worth $100 some a year. I didn't think it's a little more than a video game that tries to. I mean, I don't mind that. It's just to me it wasn't worth it because I just don't bike enough, and I just don't see the value, that kind of value in it. So, I mean, it is a cool enough app, I guess. If you're really into biking at home on your trainer, it's pretty cool, but it's just not my thing. $16 a month. I felt like I overspent on it, as it is. It's like I did like 3 months of it, and I only used it like four or five times. Oh, his head's starting to turn yellow a little bit. This yellow pigment's weird. It's like it doesn't come out completely. It's like it comes out in pieces. Oh yeah, well no, I have some excellent workouts. It's not really the quality of the workout. I love the spinnervals that I've been doing, and Peloton. I have Peloton too, and I've done them, and I've actually streamed my Peloton workouts a number of times on bike. No, there's in fact the Peloton ones are actually really good. I mean, they really keep you moving and stuff. So no, there's no doubt there's good workouts for the bike. I'm not saying that there's not quality workouts out there. I actually I pay for Paladin every month, so I pay an annual price, but it's a monthly thing. Oh yeah, no, there's definitely plenty of good workouts. The bike workouts are really good. I really like the Spinnervals ones I have, the DVDs. I own them. I don't think you can stream the Spinnerval ones anywhere, but they're some of my favorites. I like them because they give you a lot more information. They're a lot easier to follow, and you know exactly how much power to give because it tells you what to put the gears on, and it's designed for bike trainers like mine rather than the what do you call it bike machines like Peloton. Peloton is designed to work with bike machines, which is a little more. You need to have the special thing on them. You know, the electronics that tells it how hard to push and pull and resist, versus a trainer which just uses a flywheel, which is slightly different how it works. I'm actually thinking about getting these special trainers. They have these nice trainers that are actually digital, and you can tie them into apps like Peloton and that bike app, and they actually connect to it. So it will, when it says you're going up a hill, it sets it to the hill. You actually start going up a hill. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's like you don't set it yourself. It actually does it for you. Sets the resistance. I haven't done too many YouTube workouts. I probably should look more for actual workouts on YouTube. You know, just generic ones. But most of them are just do these. You know, they're not actual. I like the follow along kind, like Beachbody.com does, or you know, some where you actually have a trainer and you're doing it with them. A lot of them will like they're edited and they'll like say, okay, this is what we're doing. They'll cut it off, or you know, they're editing off the slow bits, which you're not really just watching a TV show. You're doing a workout, so I don't know why they do that, but kind of weird. It is what it is. What it is. People just do it because they're more concerned about the doing it good. Because there's a lot of people who work out online, but they don't do like actual workouts. They do their workouts. I'm like, I mean, I do the same thing. It's like I don't, I don't always do an actual workout. You know, I have to do my own thing, but still, it's hard to follow. It's like if you actually want to do the workout that they're doing. Probably should let Cesar dry so I can get get more yellow on him tomorrow. Because if you don't let it dry completely, these coats will just kind of keep rubbing off. I'll have to paint his shirt tomorrow, maybe. Hoping to do some more painting tomorrow morning if I can get my buns downstairs quick enough. And then I will maybe do another scenario of Frosthaven before I head to game night. My little my little spinner, the spinner display. I put that one in the center of my my light box. It's not even a light box. It's my photo box. And these guys are just primed, so they don't look great yet, but they'll get better and better. I don't know that any of them are ever going to look great, but they will all start to look better. Where's Tanya? Tanya, is she still on the table? Or is it Cresseth? Oh, actually, it might be Cresseth that's on the table. Yeah, there's Cresseth, not Tanya. Sorry, that's the one I was working on last time. So I got a few guys that are all waiting for their turn. How's that gonna work? What are you gonna do with this, Ken? How's this gonna work? Well, that's what they do provide. That provides a lot more light than I would have thought. It's like, still provides a lot of shadows. The idea is to wash it out enough you don't get any shadows, but I'm not good. Yeah, I can't. I would love to take Frosthaven to game night, but that's a long game, and we don't usually play that long of games at game night. Our games are 2 hours or so max. So yeah, that's probably not gonna work. And besides, it's a campaign game, which means everybody has to play. We have to get the same group together to play regularly, and yeah, it just doesn't work. Sadly enough. Yeah, we just like to play like one-off games, the kind of games that you kind of just have to. You would just get it done in one night. So yeah, just a different crowd. Actually, it's not really a different crowd. So we only play like we could like if we said all we're gonna do is play Frosthaven every time we come together on game night, we could do it. But and there are a couple people who'd be slightly interested, except they don't want to do it on game night because game night's for random people. We have people, friends, other people come, and then we want to play games with them because they're new people. You know, and you want to be able to play with the new people who show up. And that does happen on occasion. So we don't want to be stuck in a 3 hour game or 3.5 hour game that everybody's going to be like waiting for us to finish, or they can't do anything, play any games with us because we're playing a game that takes too long. We don't want people to show up and think this is clicky. Oh, well, we don't want to come here and play because those people already have their friends to play games with. But, all right, well, that's that for now. Those are the guys I'm working on, with the center guy being Cesar. I'll be painting some more yellow on him, getting some more color on his clothes, probably tomorrow, maybe do a little bit more basing on him. But beyond that, I don't know what I'll be working on. And you can see some of those guys have a long way to go, having no paint on them. Cresseth and Tenya are pretty far from being ready to be played. Oh, and I did think about it. I was thinking, there's no way I could do like more than 4 characters because they all start to develop their own modification deck. But I have Gloomhaven, and the modification deck is pretty much the same. So I could theoretically do 4 more characters. I could have 8 characters. I'll never retire anybody that way because I'll be switching back and forth between them. I might have I'll have different ones trying to go out with Royce and Adrian every now and then once Royce and Adrian retire, I'll have other characters I can do. But we can only have 8, so right now I have 4 that are available. Um, and the Ice Dancers, I primed her, but she's not actually a character yet. I haven't even given her a name. But anyway, I'm really getting tired. I think I need to hit the hay. It's after midnight, and that's kind of my Friday night limit when I get up too dang early. Especially when I don't think I got enough sleep that night. I think I only did 6.5 hours of sleep. But if I'm gonna get up early enough to come down and do some more painting and play Frosthaven and then go game night tomorrow, I'm gonna have to get started. So until next time, take it easy, man. Have a good one for Tuesday.